Shalom. From stones to screens, sharing our service with the world. A month ago, our Beth Medrash became the unexpected setting for a BBC film crew. They were recording our Thursday morning Shacharit service as part of a forthcoming series on religious life in Britain. At first, the sight of cameras and microphones mingling with talitot and tefillin, it felt a little awkward, but that soon wore off and the daily service continued as normal. The film will be aired this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. on BBC One, will then be available on iPlayer. As I was recording the voiceovers this week, I realised how well it connected with this week's parashah, Ki Tavo. In Ki Tavo, the Israelites are commanded that when they cross the Jordan to enter the land, they must set up 12 large stones and inscribe upon them all the words of this Torah very clearly. The rabbis of the Midrash and the Talmud add a fascinating detail. These words were to be written not just in Hebrew, but in the 70 languages of the ancient world. Why would that be so? It was so that the values of Torah, the covenant of Israel with God, would not remain hidden or private. They were to be visible and comprehensible to all humanity. In other words, our ancestors were charged with making Judaism legible to the wider world. The Torah was not to be a secret document accessible only to insiders, but a public testimony of faith, ethics, and responsibility. In its own modest way, the filming of our daily service was a continuation of that same idea. For many people in this country, Judaism is something abstract, perhaps even mysterious, known only through history books or stereotypes. By opening our doors to the cameras, we allowed others to witness Jewish life as it actually is. Ordinary people, praying together, weaving ancient words into the rhythm of daily life, carrying forward a chain of tradition stretching back millennia. Of course, the camera can never capture everything. The inner devotion of the worshipper, the quiet power of the words, the intimate connection between the individual and God. But it can give a glimpse. And sometimes, even a glimpse can be a first step towards understanding, respect, and dialogue. Just as those 12 stones stood at the entry to the land as a message to Israel and to the nations, so too our service, broadcast to the nation, can stand as a living monument of testimony. The Jewish prayer is alive, that the Torah still speaks, and that the values we live by are not just for ourselves, but for the entire world. Shabbat Shalom.